And then he goes to the closet where he keeps the gun, and the kids say he took it out and they just saw him load it. He's holding her by the hair and pointing the gun at her head. And look, my cousin is fighting against him, and she tells the little girl, he tells my niece, your mom is already dead. Just like that, as if nothing happened. He says, your mom is already dead.
We know for sure that violence does not distinguish gender, social status, or the country you are in. We are often witnesses to tragedies where people lose their loved ones in acts of violence or face stories that challenge our understanding and humanity. But how do we react when those terrible acts come from the people we trust the most? Today, we will hear from Kimberly, who will tell us how her life and her family's life changed forever after her cousin Nancy Ayala's life was cut short by her partner.
Okay, so hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm Nancy's cousin. Nancy and I grew up together all my life since I was little. I always followed her everywhere. Nancy was a beautiful person, very cheerful, always. She helped everyone. She was like our family glue. She tried to keep everyone together. We had dinners. She always wanted to keep us all together as a family. Nancy was always the first to be there for everyone when something happened. Nancy met Samuel I couldn't say exactly when, but it was a few years ago that she met him at a dance. After that, she started going out with him. They dated and started falling in love. She didn't live here in Dallas, and this is where she met him, in Dallas. And she used to travel here to see him. They would see each other, go to dances and out to dinner, typical couple activities. As time passed, I was the first in the family to meet him since I was really close to Nancy. When I met him, I didn't get any bad vibes, nothing at all, nothing that would make me think he was going to do what he did. What he did to Nancy? Well, time went by, they moved in together. He met my cousin's kids because my cousin does have 3 kids from her past, her previous relationship, and he met them and everything was fine. I remember she told me, she said, they love him a lot and they respect each other and they're fine. Yes, they got along well. That's it. After that, she felt more encouraged in the relationship, even because she said, well, he's accepting my children. We're doing well. And a little further ahead, they got an apartment here in Mesquite, Texas. They lived together. It was a normal relationship. I can't say it was a bad relationship because it wasn't. At least we never noticed anything or she never told us anything. But to me, the way she talked about Samuel, she was in love. She was in love with him. She had a very beautiful relationship. If she wanted something in the house, like for him to build her furniture, he would do it. Or if she needed help with family matters, he would rush to assist. It was never that he wasn't there to help her. He was always there to help her. He always supported her in everything. Even my cousin, a few months before she passed away, she took classes to learn how to do lips, injections, and all that. And he supported her. He would stay with the kids. You know what I mean? They had a healthy relationship. It's just that back then, before all of this happened,
As you can see, before all of this, there were no prior incidents or warnings that would indicate the terrible acts that were about to happen. After a night like any other,
Nancy used to talk to me a lot because she and I would go have lunch together or grab something like that since we both had kids. So suddenly we would go out to dinner, and that's when we would talk about our things. How have you been? And things like that. A month before it all happened, she kept asking me to go out to dinner with her, but I couldn't because I was already pregnant at the time. I was pregnant. I was already about 8 or 9 months along, and I was tired. I didn't want to go anywhere anymore. I just couldn't. So I would tell her, no, another day, another day. And it was like she wanted to talk to me and tell me something, like she had something on her mind that she wanted to talk about. And I never got to talk to her about what she had on her mind. But during those days, she also reached out to my mom. She is very close to my mom, who is Nancy's aunt. Nancy lived with us many times in my She moved to Dallas from Laredo, where she lived during her childhood. And that's how it was. She always liked coming to Dallas. She would come here and lived with us several times, and she got really close to my mom. I remember my mom telling me that those 2 weeks before what happened to Nancy, she was looking for my mom a lot. Like, she kept searching and searching for her. Nancy's behavior was unusual. She would usually just greet us, but this time she came over and asked what we were doing. And she didn't do that. First, she would ask us what we were doing, and that's how it was. My mom kind of had a feeling that something was wrong because she came and left her truck with my mom. She said, "Can you watch my truck for me?" And Nancy told my mom, "Yes, leave it here with me." She told me, "But why?" And she didn't tell me. No, she just left, and she was looking for my mom. August 31st. I remember I was sending her messages like always. We used to message each other on Instagram Messenger. And I remember that night she didn't open my messages anymore. That night, a friend left. I don't know if she was her friend or his. It's still not clear why. I think they were his acquaintances. They went to a rodeo here in Mesquite. My sister, younger than me, took care of the kids that night and they arrived. My sister says that they arrived at the apartment around 12. It wasn't that late. It was around midnight that they arrived, and well, they brought food and came with the couple to that apartment. And that night, my cousin was already drinking, and Samuel too, and also the couple who was with them, and that they arrived the apartment and they were fine. They were talking, laughing. And well, she left. She said, "I'm leaving now. You all are here with the kids. I'm going." Well, she left. And then around 3, everything that happened took place, right? But we didn't find out until around 5 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. My brother called and came to my house saying, "Hey, open the door. Something happened to Nancy." And I said, "What do you mean something happened to her?" He said, "Yes, Samuel shot Nancy and she's in the hospital. Right now, she's already in the hospital." And we were just like, what happened? Then my brother took Nancy's phone and took it with him, and we all met at the hospital. We called the whole family saying, "Nancy is in the hospital, come." We're a very close family. When something bad happens, all of us, no matter what we're doing, we show up. That day, my siblings arrived. We all showed up. My aunt lives far away. Nancy's mom, we called her, and she was already on her way too. We arrived at the hospital. I asked the officer there, "What happened?" He says, "At present, we are uncertain. We only know that Samuel shot Nancy. We don't know what the cause was. We don't know anything." Well, the good thing is that my brother got into Nancy's phone, and on Nancy's phone, he had access to the cameras that were in the living room of Nancy's apartment. My brother immediately went to watch the camera videos because they were recording. And that's where we saw everything that happened, how it happened, how long it took to arrive. Help, everything that happened, we saw it all at the beginning in the video. You can see Nancy is fighting with Samuel. They are arguing. Oh, sorry. They are arguing, and you can see that they're starting to argue. The woman lying on the couch got up and said, "No, Samuel, leave her alone." They started fighting physically, and my cousin, we are the kind of people who don't let ourselves be pushed around. She started fighting back because Samuel started grabbing her. He even grabbed her hair and started hitting her. My cousin told him, "You're not going to hit me." She began fighting with him, saying, "Let me go, let me go." And you can just see where he has my cousin, and he's pushing her down to the floor and hitting her. The man present told Samuel, "Let her go. That's enough. Let her go." But they didn't get involved. Well, they separated them. Nancy stands on the right side of the apartment near the door. Samuel looks at himself. He goes out of where the camera is, and the kids are there. You can't see the kids on the camera, but they're in that corner. The kids had already woken up because of everything, all the noise from what was happening, the yelling. And then he goes to the closet where he keeps the gun, and the kids say that he took it out and they just saw him like loading it. He runs to the back and tells Nancy, "You're going to leave my house. You're going to leave my house." And Nancy said, no, how am I going to leave? It's 3 a.m. I'm not going to leave. And at that point, Nancy wasn't fighting like before anymore because of the fact that he had the gun. Samuel, you could already see that my cousin was kind of trying to calm down. What was happening, like, it's okay now, calm down already. Calm down, Samuel, I love you, she told him, saying he should calm down. At that moment, Samuel, during all this time that she's telling him that, my cousin, he has her by the hair, and he's pointing the gun at her head and telling her, I'm going to kill you. He's yelling horrible things at her. My cousin struggles and pleads, okay, let me go, as the other person holds them. And the people who are there, well, they're just standing around seeming unsure what to do. And then Samuel grabs her, puts her by the door, and points the gun at her face. And the boy takes his hand away. On top of that, he takes Samuel's hand with the gun away and says to him, calm down, just leave her alone. And he was acting kind of crazy and wasn't paying attention to them. And he was saying things about Nancy, like, I'm tired of this.
Like, I'm the other one.
And he grabs her and throws her to the floor. And then the door opens. He pulls her and brings her outside the door where the entrance to the apartment is. At that moment, you hear the gunshot. After that, my cousin stopped moving. Initially, she was kicking and moving, but when he shot her, she became still and remained motionless. He leaves her there, thrown on the floor, and goes inside. And he talks to the girl. He tells my niece, your mom is already dead. Just like that, he says, your mom is already dead. And he closes the door on her and blocks it. At that moment, the man who was there was looking around. He unlocks the door and says something like, I don't know, like, what did you do? He entered the apartment, seized Nancy, and pulled her inside. The door stays open during all this time, and then they close it afterwards. The couple who were there talking, yelling, and Samuel is just looking around everywhere. And in just a few minutes, he leaves. I don't know if he took the gun. We still don't know anything about that. I think he did take it.
In moments of high stress, it's understandable that someone would be in shock or not know what to do. However, the actions of the couple present leave much to be desired, not only for what they didn't do, but also for later threatening legal action if they were involved.
He leaves the apartment and the couple is there arguing, and you can hear that. I can't say their names. I can't talk much about them because they threatened to take me to court. That's why, because I did mention them the first day. I put their names, their faces, everything, because, well, they didn't help my cousin, honestly. They didn't help her. And they say they did help her, but they didn't because they could have called the police. When they heard that gunshot after Samuel left, that they could have called 911 and said, hey, do you know what happened? This is going on. Please come quickly. But they didn't do it according to them because they were afraid. That couple, I think I met them once. Like, my sister did know them. She went out with them once. I remember her. I don't know where I met her, but I've seen her. I know I've been around her. Well, I don't know if that couple were friends. What we can't know is whether they were friends of Samuel or friends of Nancy before the relationship. We're not sure about that part, but it was someone who used to hang out with them. That couple was with them from the beginning since they came from where they live. They came from a few hours away and came out with Samuel and Nancy that night to the rodeo. And that night, well, they were there among everyone and saw everything. And like I said, they didn't do anything about it. The first day it happened, I did post their photos. I posted their names, and they immediately got a sheriff from where they're from and called me, threatening me. And it was the day that my cousin passed away. I received threatening calls from the sheriff, who was very rude to me. He said things to me to... My uncle said very ugly things to my aunt and Nancy's mother, all while my cousin had just passed away. I understand I posted your picture, but it's the truth. I'm not lying. These people lacked compassion. All the videos are there. It says, well, post the videos. We're not going to post the videos because it's something very hard for us. Well, with the current internet climate, people create mocking content and videos. We want to prevent that from happening with Nancy's videos. We don't want people sharing it because it's something very difficult for us as a family. But we have all the evidence that they were there and did nothing. They didn't assist her. And that's what makes us so angry. And I haven't been able to talk freely about it like I would like to because they're going to sue me. We don't talk to them because we had that conflict. I haven't tried to communicate with them. I'm not going to communicate with them. They have been communicating with the detective. From what we know, the detectives have been able to communicate with them. They're not hiding from the police. They are cooperating with everything that comes with the case. But I went and grabbed the footage from when all of that happened. They did all the paperwork about everything they said that night with the police, the detectives, and everything they say happened is there was false. In the police paperwork, the documents I have about everything that happened, they lied about everything they lied to the police about. In other words, they lied. And on the cameras, well, you can see something else. You know what I mean? But we have this evidence. I don't know what the police are going to do with them now. I don't know. From what I know, they are cooperating with the police. At that moment, my cousin is lying on the floor, treated like an animal. They left her there while arguing over her, saying he couldn't go to jail or the other one as they argue as a couple. After that, Samuel didn't come in anymore. He had already left. He didn't come back. Everything already occurred, and we had proof of what transpired and how it did. In the hospital, it lasted from the 1st to the 7th of September. From September 1st to September 7th. She passed away on September 7th. The first day she was in critical condition, she had surgery. When they arrived, they said that when she was in the ambulance, she had passed away. But they revived her. And then on the first day, they performed surgery on her. They opened her stomach from top to bottom, and her liver and lung had been damaged. And I don't remember what else, but it damaged several organs because the bullet hit her here in the arm and went like this directly and stopped in the spinal cord. That's where the bullet stopped. They performed 3 surgeries on her within the first 2 days. The first day she underwent about 3 surgeries with 2 more surgeries done after a few hours of the initial one. All that time, I had just had a baby. I was feeling I don't remember much of everything that was happening because it was like we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe that my cousin was in that bed there with tubes. She was in a coma. You know what I mean? In a coma. We couldn't believe that all of that was happening, that it was Nancy. She started to swell up a lot because of all the fluids they were giving her. She started looking different and wasn't herself anymore. The first 2 or 3 days, it seemed like she could still hear us. We talked to her. And she would just move her head. But with each passing day, the doctors said her health was declining too much, that there wasn't much they could do anymore. They were trying everything. She was hooked up to machines for everything imaginable, her blood, her kidneys, and more. They had her connected to countless machines. Well, by about the 6th day, they said that each organ was failing one by one, that there was nothing else they could do. And on September 7th, we had to make the decision to let her go. For her to go in peace because there was nothing else that could be done. All her organs had stopped working. One by one, they were shutting down. And by then, on September 7th, we were all there with her in those last moments. The whole family was together. And We were with her. And then, well, she passed away and we all had to leave and start planning her funeral.
Kimberly tells us that in the fight to catch the person who took her cousin's life, she has faced various obstacles because he fled to this country, to Mexico.
All this time, Samuel was on the run. We no longer knew where he was. I've been taking care of all the legal matters. I've been talking to the detectives, to the United States Marshal, and I've been talking to them. I've been communicating with them, and when they found his truck at a friend's house, he had left his truck, but by then he had already left. His family helped him leave for Mexico, and we believe that he is still in Mexico. He is from Boca, San Luis Potosi, and there have been people who send us messages saying that they have seen him, that he walks around his town as if nothing happened. He acts as if he didn't do anything, and he goes around saying that, according to him, he killed my cousin because she didn't want to be with him anymore, which is something that isn't true. I'm telling you, because if he really wanted the truth, not to be with her, 2 weeks before all of this happened, my cousin found out that he was cheating on her. My cousin had already told him that she didn't want to be with him anymore because she found out about that and she didn't want anything to do with him anymore. But then some family issues arose. And Nancy, well, I don't know, she kind of gave him another chance. And that's when all of that happened, about 2 weeks after everything that had happened between the two of them. But he's going around saying that he didn't want to be with her. But that's a lie, because my cousin, if he had told her, I don't want to be with you anymore, she would have left saying, okay, that's fine, go your own way. That's how we are. We don't beg. If you don't want to be here, then leave. Knowing my cousin, that's how the situation would have been. Yes, we've gotten messages saying that he's acting like nothing happened, just living his life, and his family members are checking my Facebook. Me all the time. I frequently post about her and share her story to keep people aware that he's still at large, that we still want justice to be served, and we know that justice will be done. We don't know where he is right now at the moment. We've been told he's in Bocas, but we don't know if we don't have any proof. That's a little difficult because they have told us that people have said that we haven't done enough on our part. But what they don't know is that in the United States with the Mexican police, it's a little different. It's a little difficult. Yes, we are working with the police here are working with those in Mexico to see how we need to try to catch them. Do you understand me? A lot of evidence. It's something that requires a lot of proof that he is actually there. We can't just say, oh, well, this person told us he's there. They've already seen him. And that's it. No, we need evidence. I feel like it's something that got out of his hands because I knew Samuel and I feel that he should have loved my cousin at a certain point in the relationship. I mean, you're not going to be with someone just for the sake of being together. They even had a baby. You know what I mean? I feel like that was something that got out of his hands, but now it got out of hand. Why don't you turn yourself in? You know what I mean? If it was something where you say, okay, I made a mistake, it was a moment when I was so angry, then why don't you turn yourself in? Why don't you say, you know what, I made a mistake. Let me turn myself in. Let me serve my time. I'm taking responsibility for my actions and their consequences, but he isn't doing the same.
Losing a loved one in such a tragic and sudden way leaves deep psychological scars on children. That's why Kimberly has tried to keep her distance from Nancy's children and handle the situation as delicately as possible.
It's something very hard for them. Because I see them, I try to visit them as much as I can because they're not where Nancy used to live. when I talk to them, they don't talk much. It's like, it's just those kids. It's like they haven't grasped it. You know what I mean? It's like they don't know how to understand it. I haven't had the courage to ask them how they feel about that night. You know what I mean? No, I don't try to bring up that topic because they're such little kids. But they do speak very nicely about their mom. They talk as if we're still alive. They tell me, oh, my mom said she was going to do this for us. They talk as if she were alive. I try not to talk about what happened. You know what I mean? I'd rather not discuss that topic. I understand it's difficult for adults. I don't know how they feel. I know they do have help, counseling and all that, but honestly, I don't know. I haven't had the courage to ask them about that night. Well, yes, because I know she was looking for me. She wanted to tell me something, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know about what it's what she wanted to talk about, because she, like I said, was like a sister to me. I told her everything. She told me everything. I followed her everywhere. I trusted her with everything in the world. She also told me everything that was going on. If something was happening with her family, who are my cousins or my aunt, and she would call and ask, hey, is this happening? We would then start chatting. I would give her advice, and she always told me, you always make me feel better because you say things to me, you talk to me, you give me good advice. I know she was looking for me. She was looking for me and wanted to talk to me, but I don't know about what. I don't know if she felt something, had a premonition. I don't know. It's like she did a lot of things in those last days, and I feel like she knew something, like she sensed something. Do you understand me? After she passed away, we did our own investigation, so I started looking into everything. I would check the Facebook pages of everyone, no cousins, sisters, brothers. We also discovered that a girl was talking to him before he passed away. She was dating Samuel. And we found out that he had another fake Facebook account. Many of the girls he used to message sent us messages saying, I used to talk to him, but I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was living with someone. And they sent us photos from the fake Facebook account he had. He used a different name. They were his photos, but it was another name. They sent us conversations where he said he wasn't married, that he was single, and that he was leaving the mother of his baby. That kind of... We later discovered it was all fake. You know what I mean? And that my cousin never found out. That's what makes us angry, that my cousin never found out. I wish she had realized that he was still messaging other women. You know what I mean? Because I know she would have left him already. I'm telling you, we found out about so many things we didn't know, like his fake Facebook accounts. He was messaging women. He wanted to meet them. And I wonder, how did we not notice that? Like, he never gave my cousin any reason. My cousin never told me, like, oh, I feel like he's acting this way or that way. No, she never told me that. What I told you about 2 weeks before, that he was cheating on her, that's when she did tell me. The only way she found out was because that day she checked his phone. She never checked his phone, and that day, I don't know why, I decided to check it, and he forgot to delete the message. And that's how she saw that he had met with this woman at the hotel. He worked in construction. I think, yes, in construction. He built things like schools, houses, and so on. I'm going to tell you the same thing I've told you several times, is that those who knew my cousin knew what she was like. She was kind to everyone, including her cousins, and never mistreated anyone. She visited her mom a month before this happened. Her mom met her. I know her mom will see this, and I say, you met my cousin, you saw what she was like. She took her granddaughter so she could meet her there in Mexico, she told her. And what if one day they really did love my cousin? Or I don't know if it was fake. They smiled at her face. They talked to her as if she were family. I mean, do the right thing, Anton and Samuel. I mean, because they are women. As women, touch your hearts. That could happen to them. It could happen to their daughters. They have daughters. They are women. As a woman, we have to defend each other. And I tell you, Don't be cowards. Stop hiding it. You know what he did was wrong. Let him pay for what he has to pay. I tell him that he shouldn't be a coward, and his brothers who are hiding him shouldn't be cowards either. But we have heard many things about this family. We have heard many things about the men in this family. And honestly, I feel that his family is going to hide him. They're going to keep hiding him. They're not going to have any compassion. Those people have no heart. But the day we catch him, I swear on everything I love in my life, I'm going to make sure he rots in jail and that they give him the worst sentence they possibly can. Because the pain that we as a family are feeling is something that will never be forgotten. Months have already passed and the pain is even stronger. They don't understand what it's like to lose someone who has a good heart, who was loved by everyone. Our entire family is suffering greatly. My aunt, my cousins, my daughters, all her children, her friends, we are all suffering. And we will never forget. And we will never forgive it. No, I do want to say something to Samuel. When I met you, Samuel, I felt that you were going to take care of my cousin. I met you. I saw how much you loved her. I saw how you were with her. If you really, truly love my cousin one day, give yourself up, Samuel. Stop running. No, I told him, Maya, what are you teaching your children? You left your little girl without a mom, without a dad. You know, think about her, not just her, your other two children too, who also have you. What kind of example are you setting for your son? Turn yourself in now. Don't be a coward. You say, you were a man. Look at you running away, hiding. The pain you've caused us, you know what we're like as a family. You met us. We all accepted you into our family, and look at what you did to us. Do you have the courage to turn yourself in? Do it for Nancy, at least. I'm the one who is in charge of everything that's happening, but I also have my cousins. But they can find me more easily because I've been posting it on TikTok, on Facebook. To the people of Mexico, if you see them in the photos, I ask you with all my heart to please be compassionate and recognize them. I know it's a little difficult. Many have expressed their fear to us. I get it. I know you're scared. If you message me, I promise you that your information will not be shared. Yeah, we have a lot of messages, and not once have we shared anyone's information. Because what we want is justice. We don't want to put anyone in danger. We just want justice. We want proof. If you see him, snap a quick photo and send it to me. No need to talk to him or stick around. The location where they've seen him. That's all we need. We won't require anything else or your information. We won't involve you in anything. We just want you to please help us catch Samuel because he has to pay for what he did. If you saw the video, you would see why we're so angry and how cowardly he was. Because that could happen to anyone. We never thought we would be in this situation, especially because of someone who was my cousin's partner and how he treated her. And a lot of people say, why didn't she leave? That if there was abuse, why did they stay there? That wasn't happening. No, there was no proof that he was bad, that he had. This happened from one day to the next. Please don't judge. Send me messages on Facebook, on TikTok. I can give you my phone number. You can call me or send me a message on WhatsApp. And I'll answer them. I'll answer you. I'm not going to give out your information. Just please help us. It's the only thing we're asking for. We're not asking you to come. We don't want anything. Just evidence. Just evidence. Yes, please help me with that. I would be very grateful. Honestly, TikTok is my page that I use for nail content because that's what I do, but I don't use it for that anymore. Now, I only post things about Nancy because that's where my first video went viral. I wanted to keep going there because that's where a lot of people see what I post about Nancy. It's called Kimberly's Nails and Underscore, and that's my Facebook. You can also send me a message here. It's Kimberly Alexis Salas, and it's a picture of me and Nancy from when we were kids. You can send me a message there, or I can also give you my number so you can message me. You don't have to give me your information. Don't worry about that. Your information will be kept private. What we want are proof and information about where he is. That's all I'm asking. Please listen to your heart, and if you see him, don't be afraid. Just send me photos. You don't have to talk to him or chat with him, nothing. Just send me a message. That's the only thing I'm asking you, please.
Kimberly asks anyone who knows information about the suspect's whereabouts to please get in touch and that their information will be protected. Because the only thing we're looking for is that finally Nancy's crime gets justice. Videos are uploaded Mondays and Wednesdays on Pepe Misterio's channel. Share your story if you have one. If you've experienced a crime, or if you're a searching mother, or anything you'd like to have a space to talk about so that justice can be served, email me at correowepepemisterio.com.x or write to me on Facebook where I'm listed as Pepe Misterio. You can also find me on Instagram as Pepe Misterio Mexico or Pepe Misterio Documentales.